Now, a lot of people are talking about self-esteem and how you can increase your self-esteem so you can have a better life. Well, today I want to address how you really get more self-esteem and how it really improves your life. But before I do that, I want to make one statement. Every single one of you watching this video are living in a prison. That's right. You are living in a prison. A prison that you yourself created. Now, what am I talking about? Well, you're going through life, strolling along, minding your own business, and bam! You slam into a wall. And you discover that this wall completely surrounds you. Inside this wall are all those things you're willing to do, all those things you believe you can do. Outside this wall are all those things you don't think you can do, all those things you're afraid to try. You see, this wall, this prison, is called your comfort zone. And what you need to understand is your self-esteem is in direct proportion to the size of your comfort zone. Now that's important. Let me repeat that. Your self-esteem is in direct proportion to the size of your comfort zone. If you want more self-esteem, you need to increase your comfort zone. And that means busting through that wall and doing things you don't think you can do, or things that are uncomfortable for you. See, most people have the whole concept of self-esteem backwards. People believe that they need to increase their self-esteem so that they're able to do more things. And the reality is just the opposite. You do more things and your self-esteem will naturally increase. You want more self-esteem? You got to break out of your comfort zone and do things that you're not comfortable doing. And when you do, your self-esteem naturally grows. But where did this wall come from? Well, it's built out of the bricks we call life events. Every time something bad has ever happened to you, someone has done something to you, someone has said something to you in a negative manner, life has just handed you another brick. And while it is true that some people have been given a lot more bricks than other people, it honestly does not matter how many bricks life has given you. What matters is how strong you've made that wall. And again, it's made out of these bricks of life events, but it's held together by your beliefs. Your beliefs about what you can and can't do are what hold together your wall known as your comfort zone. So if you want to bust through this wall, don't focus on the bricks. Don't focus on all your life events that have contributed to your low self-esteem, because you can't change those. The bricks are always going to be there. But what you can change is the beliefs that are holding those bricks together. And that's what I want you to focus on when you focus on the idea of trying to increase your self-esteem. Change your beliefs, break out of your comfort zone, and self-esteem will be a natural byproduct of that. But the question is, how do we change our limiting beliefs? Well, that would be an entire course on itself, and I can't give you all the techniques I use in my coaching to help people with their beliefs, but I want to give you a couple quick tools to at least get you started on the idea. Now, the first thing you can do with a limiting belief is to challenge it. All beliefs are based on assumptions, and assumptions are all based on some type of pattern you believe you perceive. So write down your belief, and then try to figure out all the assumptions you've made that support that belief, and then challenge every single one of those assumptions. Ask yourself, is this true? Was it true at one point in my life, maybe 10, 20 years ago, but it's no longer true today, but I stick with it because I've carried it on for 20 years. challenge those limiting beliefs. Challenge the assumptions that support them. And that will weaken the belief, and that allows you to break through it. Now, another thing you can do, if you can't come up with counter evidence to challenge your beliefs, another tool you can use is simply do it anyway. If you have some fear about doing something, just go do it. A long time ago, maybe 15 years ago, I used to be deathly afraid to fly. I mean, petrified to fly. But then something came up that was more important to me than my fear of flying. And what it was some of my friends were going to New Orleans for Mardi Gras, and I really, really wanted to go. So I bought the plane ticket, and I promised myself I would get on that plane. And I did. And I got on that plane, and I sat there, and I grabbed that seat as hard as I could, and I closed my eyes, and every time that plane shook even a little, every muscle in my body tensed up. I was petrified that entire flight. However, when it was done, I got off the plane, and I was fine. And by doing that, I showed my subconscious mind that the fear it has may not be true. I gave it a little bit of counter evidence to weaken the belief that flying was dangerous. And every flight I've gone on since then, that fear has reduced just a little. In cognitive behavioral therapy, this is a technique that's called immersion therapy. And it's usually used to treat phobias, but it can be used to treat any limiting belief. And you just immerse yourself into it. And that reconditions the thinking of your subconscious mind. So that fear that you can't do something lessens. You're giving your subconscious mind a new pattern to work with. Now, some people think, well, yeah, that's a great idea and all, but I have just too much fear. I just cannot get myself to do it. Well, here's a third tool, quick tool that you can use to change your limiting beliefs. And it's called vivid visualization. Now, a lot of people talk about visualization. They're like, oh, you want to visualize your future, you want to visualize your dreams, you want to visualize your ideal self, and it will just magically happen. That's not how it works. What you need to engage in is vivid visualization, and vivid is the key word here. Vivid visualization is when you visualize, you incorporate all your senses, or as many senses as you can. You don't want to visualize as if it was a movie. You don't want to see it in your mind like you're watching a movie going, oh yeah, I'm visualizing myself doing this or whatever. But you want to put yourself into the visualization. It has to be done as a first-person perspective. And you want to see it, taste it, feel it, hear it, all your senses. And you want to generate emotions. And that's the key to vivid visualizations, is if you don't become emotional about the situation that you're visualizing, then it won't recondition your subconscious mind. Your subconscious mind processes things through emotions. So you have to generate emotions when you visualize something in order for it to recondition your subconscious mind. And what you want to visualize is yourself doing whatever you think you can't do. Vividly visualize yourself doing that thing that you don't believe you can do. And do it over and over again with a ton of emotion and all your senses. And when you do that, your subconscious mind has a hard time telling the difference between something that's vividly visualized and something that really happened. And when you do this, your mind, your subconscious mind, gets new evidence to create a new belief. So again, use these three tools. Again, they are challenge your limiting beliefs by challenging the assumptions that support them. Just do it. Engage in immersion therapy. Or vividly visualize yourself having already done what you don't think you can do. Use these three tools. Smash through that wall Smash through your limitations. Expand your comfort zone. And when you do that, your self-esteem will naturally increase.